You know, I really feel bad. You know why? The reason I feel bad, when you look at this Extreme Rules pay-per-view, it actually was better than WrestleMania. I'm saying this right now, ladies and gentlemen. I am very upset that a basic, more of a throwaway pay-per-view in Extreme Rules is not meant to be anything but like making the ECW crowd happy, was a better pay-per-view than WrestleMania 31. That is terrible. To actually think that they were able to produce a better show than the show that meant their entire company's past, present, and future. What is the heart of WWE is WrestleMania, and this was better than WrestleMania. It wasn't incredibly better than WrestleMania, but it was better, and that is sad. When you look at the beginning of the kickoff, it wasn't bad. But when you hear that Daniel Bryan is unable to defend his championship, and that Neville and Bad News Barrett, two Brits mind you, thug it out on the kickoff show, two things come to mind. One, this match should have been on the show. You could have moved Ryback and Bo Dallas on here in the kickoff. Two, by Bad News Barrett being on the kickoff, does not mean that if Daniel Bryan wasn't hurt or having some type of issue, that he would be on the kickoff. I think you Daniel Bryan fans should really think about this. Unless I'm wrong and he was meant to be on the show, as far as I understand, this was supposed to be a kickoff match for the IC Championship. If I'm wrong, fine. Tell me below. Tell me that that was originally scheduled, but from what I've seen on WrestleMania 1, I believe that was one site, and also on WWE, they never described where that match was supposed to be. I'm just saying. But I will say this, that Neville looks really great. That red arrow is a very good move. But my question to you is this, do you actually believe the WWE is going to push Neville? To be honest, he's going to be like an Evan Bourne. They'll let him get maybe into the tag team division and he'll make his mark. But when they really want to do something with him, I don't think they're going to do anything with him. Maybe he'll get the US Championship. Maybe he might get the IC Championship. But that's as far as he's going to go. And I find that a big waste. Because he could be in the main event. Now, since I said this, let's look at a match that... why wasn't it on the kickoff? Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose. The opening match could have been on the kickoff. And this match, which was on the kickoff, could have been as the first match of the night. Now, like I said before, if Daniel Bryan was meant to be on the show, then I believe if he was meant to be on the Extreme Rules show, he would be in the first match. So seeing this here, instead of seeing Neville and Bad News Barrett, actually made me upset. Because Bad News Barrett and the Neville match was better than this street fight. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad street fight, but we've seen street fights before. Neville needed to be spotlighted if he does have a future going beyond what we think, like I've already said. But to its credit, you got two guys in a Luke Harper and a Dean Ambrose that have good chemistry. Driving away wasn't that bad, but it kind of, well, if they just walked out of the arena, it would have been better than driving away, because how the hell is the ref going to keep up with them? And then when they came back, after New Day won their match, and I will be doing them next, Dean Ambrose basically forearms them from the top of the SUV. And then going back into the ring and finally winning, I'm thinking it was a good street fight for what little they showed. Because not seeing outside the ring kind of really took away from it. But now what? My feeling is they're not going to end this between them because they have nothing for Dean Ambrose to do. And that's such a big waste. I'm just being honest here. New Day versus Cesaro and Kid. things came to mind when I saw this match. One, finally, Cesaro has turned face. If you care about Tyson Kidd being a face, fine, whatever. But the way the crowd reacted to Cesaro, he's a face now. And he has such a huge, huge spike in pops, which I love to see. Now, if only the WWE would understand what they got in their hands and make sure that Cesaro stays that way and not make him do heelish things. 2, Kofi Kingston, which I'm hoping beyond fuck the WWE and the announcers who didn't do a very good job during the night spotlight that Kofi cheated to win that match. Kofi's always been a face since he's been in the WWE. I mean, when he was in FCW, that's totally different if he was a heel. But he's been a face since he's been on the main roster. I have not seen him do any heelish tendencies or cheating. This is now the best time to post him as a heel because he cheated. Even though it looked like he didn't, because he didn't really pull Cesaro's tights enough to show his ass crack. But since they're going there, if they did this, I would be very happy to see it. But I don't believe they're going to go there. They just don't feel like they want to go all the way there. It feels like they just don't want to do it. Unless they're going to build up into it in this Raw, because Raw hasn't aired yet. It's like about an hour beforehand that I'm doing this actually. I'm having a problem with my computer because I really don't have a working computer right now. I have a problem right now. I'm using an old messed up computer. I'm sorry to bring that into the announcement, but one of the reasons why I haven't put up videos the way I want is because my original computer I was working on died, and now I gotta buy a new one, and I'm using an old 8.5-year-old computer. It's pretty much almost 9, but 8.5-year-old computer that is not working that well, and I can't push it in rendering videos. But I'm sorry about that. But you get my point with Kofi. That's what I want to see when Raw airs tonight. Spotlight Kofi as a heel, ladies and gentlemen. Please, WWE. He must be spotlighted. I want to say also, seeing JoJo and seeing Brittany, I believe her name is Brittany, Eden, sorry. JoJo and Eden. Both these ladies are together, and it's not Jillian Gomez, I believe her name is that. She's not there. Now either she's off or there's some type of issue with her family or there was something with the WWE, I don't know. But Jillian was, I believe Jillian, her name is that. She wasn't there. And it was 2 women that I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see JoJo. We haven't seen her in such a long time and she looks gorgeous. That gorgeous little woman. I wonder if Randy's still with her. Somebody tell me below if they're still together. But I'm glad to see them. It was a nice change of pace. Now, the Cena and Rusev match. I didn't expect it to go any other way than Cena winning. But my question to myself was, how long are they going to continue this and how badly buried Rusev is going to get? Well, 2 things happen on this. 1, the crowd love they love Lana. I can understand why they love Lana. Lana's a gorgeous looking fake blonde. That was interesting to see. It isn't the only time you've ever seen it, but it's interesting to see. In the end, Cena won it. The thing I saw that I was really upset about, at the next pay-per-view, which one is it? That pay-per-view is supposed to be Payback. Haven't seen that one in a while. That is going to be John Cena versus Rusev in an I Quit match. Face pump. Hand this. That's not good for my allergies. Sorry. But you get my point. Who wants to see Rusev get buried even more? I was hoping that this wouldn't last very long. Now, I did say this, and I'm going to stick by it. Seeing John Cena not in the main event is a good thing. I'm glad to see him in the lower card. He fits like a lower card champion, but But the problem is that they're burying everybody for him. And I believe the Slug Daddy said this himself. He said there's two ways this is going to go down. One, he will actually be able to help the people that in the undercard get spotlighted, which in a sense he has. But two, they will still spotlight him as the main champ with the undercard belt, and everyone's going to get buried, and they won't spotlight the World Heavyweight Championship the way they need to. And that sucks, because Rusev is going to be buried badly by Payback, like everyone else has gone through Cena. And I knew this was going to happen, but I also knew that there would be other people in the main event. And I will be doing the main event right now. Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton in a steel cage. Now, I wasn't too sure this was going to be good, but it actually was a good match. It was a good cage match. The only problem I see is that they decided, the heads of WWE decided that they want to keep spotlighting Kane. They want Kane to be the focus here more than Seth Rollins, more than Randy Orton. Now, I'm sure people are going to say, dude, Seth Rollins got spotlighted. He won the match using an RKO. And the crowd got mad as hell. The crowd were cheering for Randy Orton. They were cheering for Seth Rollins. They enjoyed seeing Kane slam J&J Security, Seth, and Randy Orton. Yes, they did. But the problem here is this. We don't need Kane. Because the way they're doing this, I have this bad feeling that Kane is going to be pushed into the title picture and that he may have a chance to get after the World Heavyweight Championship. I know people are going to say, dude, that can't happen. You never know with the WWE. They are so screwy with themselves that, let's be honest here, if Kane is nearing the end of his run, they may want to reward him with one more run of the championship. If they're going to do that, they're going to do it this year, and they're going to throw the fucking belt on him and see how the ratings are going to tank. No matter how over he is a face again, it's going to tank. Now, I'm going to talk about the two matches that should have not happened. First one, Ryback and basically Bo Dallas, which didn't actually have they didn't have a match. But this instance, this segment could have easily gone on a kickoff show, and you could have had Bad News Barrett and Neville on the main show, because this wasn't necessary. I understand they want to give Ryback some spotlighting, and the crowd was over for him in the Chicago area. They loved him. Seeing him destroy Bo Dallas, who actually should be more spotlighted. And if you tell me two things about Bo Dallas. One, he looks so much like his older brother, Bray. Two, his whiskers make him look more Chinese than anything else. And I'm not saying anything different, because even though my vast background, when I grow out my mustache and beard, I look Chinese too. It's one of the things of being part Native American and other stuff in my blood. But anyway, this could have been on a kickoff. I don't understand why this was done. Second match, which truly should never happen the way it did. And if on this Raw, Naomi wins, I'm going to say this is total stupidness beyond fuck. Naomi versus Nikki Bella. Naomi had a new look. She had new music. She had neon glow-in-the-dark sneakers, which was fucking epic. It was weird and epic, and I loved it. But here's the thing. Why the fuck would you change Naomi's look? Give her new fucking music? Give her the chance to change her character, but then let her fucking job to Nikki Bella? Why? Because her titties are bigger? Why? Because John Cena is the guy who fucks her? This was stupid. This was not necessary. You want to give us more in the Divas division, WWE. Why even give Naomi this chance? The crowd wanted her to win. The commentators, every commentator they have has stated the same thing. Naomi is the most athletic woman they have. She is a woman's version of Kofi Kingston. The crowd would love to see her as champ. But every single time you give her the shot, she fucking loses. because you don't want her to have it. Why? This was stupid. And if they give her the title, this Raw that's coming up in the next hour or so, this was fucking stupid. She should have had it on this pay-per-view, not the fucking Raw afterward. That's if she even gets it. And that's if she doesn't get buried by Paige coming back tonight. Because she may come back tonight and destroy Naomi after they went through all this. Now, let's see if I'm missing anything. 2 more matches to go. 2 more. 1, the Show and Roman Reigns match. I'm going to say this. This was a very good match. I have not stated which is the best match of the night. I'm not going to, because they have very good matches here, but they felt mostly like Raw matches. More above average Raw matches. All of them. So they weren't bad matches at all. They were above average. Easily. But when you see Show and Roman Reigns, this was not about the match quality. This was showing that Roman Reigns could finally be accepted by the crowd, which he was. Going through the tables was very good. Seeing how he's able to withstand so much, and then finally winning over the Big Show by lifting up one of the commentary tables and literally throwing it on top of the Big Show's legs. He didn't just flip it over him, he went sideways with it, which those tables are pretty heavy. It shows a very good level of strength, but the entire match was just to try and get him over because the crowd don't want him. But because the Chicago crowd was so very vocal, this really helped him. And he was well over, and he deserved that win. I am so happy. I will say this, all the matches were above average for a Raw type of show, but this was the best above average match they had, and I did enjoy it. Finally, the match of the night for me. And I'm not talking about match quality. This was about the story of a man with red hair and a mohawk wanting to teach a Dolph Ziggler a lesson by making him kiss his arse. I'm sure not many people are going to focus on this, and if they do, I can understand why. It wasn't about the match quality. It was good match quality. Like I said, it was above average or average for Raw, which in some cases is alright. It was a solid match. But what happened afterward, the entire crowd was caught up in it. They wanted to see a Sheamus kiss the living ass out of Dolph Ziggler's ass. And Dolph played to it. He did a good job with it. And in the end, Dolph got this in the gonads. And then you hear the epic words from Sheamus, "Are you entertained?" Good Sheamus. Very good Sheamus. I enjoyed that moment. That moment was the best moment, which pissed the fucking crowd off. Then he pulled his trunks up and let Dolph's face feel his butt cheek. This to me was the best match of the night, not because of the match quality, but because what it represented. It represented a step up from the WWE and giving us at least a better than standard show on their pay-per-views. But here I say this again. Like I said in the beginning of this review, this was a good pay-per-view. A throwaway pay-per-view mostly. Throwaway to the ECW crowd. But this match totally and clearly shows how bad WrestleMania 31 was. And I know a lot of people would say WrestleMania was great. It was good. I'm sorry. WrestleMania was good. It wasn't great. And that's the truth. The lighting wasn't good, and I didn't say it in my review. When it came to a lot of the matches, they were not great matches. A lot of things people did not want to see, we saw. Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. And it came to Sting and Triple H. We didn't want to see those matches. We didn't. They were great, but then you know it wasn't what you wanted because Bray won, but he didn't win anything. And Sting, who should have won that match, didn't because Vince didn't want to lose to TNA and WCW, because that's what it comes down to. He didn't want a WCW guy and a former TNA guy to get a win to make those other promotions look good, even though one of them is theirs. That's what this made me feel. Sad. But tell me how you guys feel. So I hope you enjoyed this Zane view. Please give me a comment below. Like I said, I have a problem right now. I have a badly messed up computer. Hopefully I'll be able to upload this. I'm probably not going to be able to do any debate of the weeks until they get a new one, which I'm going to be getting in the next couple of days. You guys have a good day and have a good night. Peace!